In the last video, we built all these cabinets, but we didn't finish the doors and drawers because that's a whole new process into itself. So originally I was just going to put plywood fronts on these, band them, and they would look real good. Prefinished birch always does. But didn't have any more material to make doors. But I did have this big old pile of 1x4 pine. So I was pretty selective, but not too selective. They are going to be rustic, and we wanted that rustic cabiny look. And I loaded them up and took them over to the router table. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen me make a bunch of TNG. First thing we're going to do is make our tongue. And we're going to make a bunch of these. I think my router table is starting to die. We made a bunch with just tongues and a bunch that are going to get grooves and tongues, and then some that just get grooves. And if you've seen my videos before, you know that I make my tongues and grooves a little bit off center. That way when you go to put them together, fits nice and flush this way, but if you were to flip it the other way and put it on wrong, yeah, it's not flush. So I don't have enough clamps to do all of the panels. All in all, I had to make 20 of these, 4 for the drawers and 16 for the doors. Had to make them in shifts, can only do about 4 at a time. Here you see I always make sure that it's flat against the clamp so there's no bows in it. And I always set an opposing clamp just to make sure that it's nice and flat. So since I had to wait a long time in between glue ups, I went ahead and put this end panel on just to give it a nice finish edge or finish end. And this is what it looked like when it was all done. Makes the cabinets blend in real well with the walls. And when it was ready, I took it out of the clamps and I would square it up with my big panel sled. And then I'm going to rip it to length here. And the one side is a little wider than the other. That's the one that has just the groove. So that's the side that we trimmed the width off of. Set up this jig so I could put my doors on there and mark where the hinges go. And I marked them, but forgot to show how I bored the holes. Once they were all installed, I'd come back and just check the reveals on them, add the little adjustments here and there. And perfect fit. Now these were one solid piece, so I set them in place, used these spacers that are exactly 0.11 thick, and trimmed the drawer face accordingly. Each one of the drawer panels, when I set in place, I would make sure that the center was right where the middle of the panel of the seam was. Use my square, scribe the line. Once the panels were done, I marked where I wanted my drawer heights and cut them all at one time. It's important to have a process when you do this so you don't mix up your drawers, because you want to maintain the same drawers with the same panel. So I bought these clamps to help me install drawers, and I'm not completely sold. It's just as easy to put a screw through where the hardware is going to go, and that's eventually what I ended up doing to install all of these. I wasn't even able to use these things on the top drawer because they were too tight. So I had to go with the screw through the hardware hole. So let's speed up this process. Just like that, we're done. All the grains lined up, all the pieces, nice continuity, real good look, I think. Doors and drawer faces done. And there's stuff in here. This is why I like doors. You can't see the mess. And this is what's unbelievable. I still have an empty drawer. Usually I don't put solid subtops on my cabinets, but I thought it might be a while before I got a laminated top on here. So my supplier had this 4x10 sheet of Phoenix. I had no idea what Phoenix is, but they were trying to get rid of it. It was 150 bucks a sheet. I jumped all over it. And it's a really nice custom, already laid up type stuff. So the difficulty with this, it's laid up on a 4x10 sheet of MDF and it's heavy. So I can't do it by myself. I already got some help ripping it down to the width that I'm going to need to put onto the countertop. But I still have to notch it out for the window. I got to band it. So that's going to be another process all unto itself. Forgot to video how we banded this and put the edge on it and everything. Took 4 of us, wasn't easy. Unless you have a real high-end edge bander, which I don't, but I have a good one. Getting this joint here is really going to be tough, especially with black. To alleviate that problem, just went ahead and put a little chamfer all the way around. I think makes a nice little detail. Did it on the backsplash. Looks real good. Supplier told me that if this got scuffed up or scratched, you just put a little water on it, wipe it off and dry it, and it just kind of rejuvenates itself and it looks brand new. Now that we have this all finished, I can start changing my different layouts, testing my workflow. Right now we'll have the assembly table right here. Table saw is going to be right there. Bander over there with the trimmer. Set up a miter saw station right here with our second table saw combination router table. May even put a cabinet down here that's going to take our pocket hole cutter. Still got all this stuff we got to lay out, but we got a lot of space. Decided to put my rollaway right there because it's right next to the assembly table where I'm working most of the time. Who says I'm not sentimental? I remember when my parents brought that home from Dodger Stadium in 1965. All right, these cabinets are done. Now that we got the trailer out of here, we're going to lay out the shop and maybe you'll stick around and help us do that. But in the meantime, watch these videos, subscribe, hit the notifications so you don't miss anything, and give us a like. And we'll see you real soon.